So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And most of us are kind of sitting at a desk of some kind with a computer in front of us. And if that is the case for you, have your feet flat on the floor and really try and feel your toe pads, your big toe mound, your little toe mound, the outside of the soles of your feet and the kind of the heels. And then really feel the weight of your legs into your ankles and feet, be on top of your sits bones, shoulders aligned with the hips. And just imagine your spine is this string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So really lengthen the spine. Take a nice deep breath. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head. And relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. Relax the jaw and the back of the tongue, the back of the head and the temples. Relax the back of the neck and the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all your limbs. And then just notice your breath. As you're inhaling and exhaling. And as we're going through this process of settling, contemplate this idea of silence and stillness, particularly stillness. What does that mean to you? What does it mean for you to experience being still? And it doesn't necessarily mean standing in one place. And then just notice if there are any sounds in your environment. Just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them with the mind. And then just notice the thoughts as they're arising. What is going on for you this evening? What distractions are you experiencing right now? And allow them to arise. Observe them. Just look at it. What about these distractions serves you? Can you let them go? Why are we habituated to one way of thinking more than another? So just notice as these thoughts arise and abide and flow on. And then we can just put ourselves on the bank of our river and notice that while we're sitting there on the bank, we're free from that river. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, these folks in our life who are so dear to us. And then there's our folks that we don't like so much, and then there's our strangers. And just remember they can all change place at any time. And then keep in mind this idea that they're actually all equal and they wish to be happy. They wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for this Buddha mind, this Buddhahood. So I think we'll do this Vajrasattva meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension for all sentient beings. So just remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we're creating negativity with our mind. We can create positivity instead. So we do this by focusing on this Vajrasattva practice in the context of the 4 opponent powers. So there's a strange. No, I'm only seeing like 6. Okay. So just remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is a psychological one. We're creating negativity with our mind. So we can change that by creating positivity instead. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And you can think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience because we already understand what that means. And we know from our so logic, it makes sense to remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I am sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon this Buddha, Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor and who has the methods that we can use to purify. So we're not needing this Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by sort of relying upon his medicine. So we do the work ourselves. So you can imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and it's not like this image. Well, it can be. Depends on what kind of, if you are able to visualize, there's quite detailed tanka. But most of us probably, unless we're actually artists or trained in this way, we might not be able to. So just do the best you can. Just imagine on the crown of your head this Buddha light body and radiating light. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. Has this beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood, so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, this is also part of reliance, because we need to rely upon other beings to develop compassion. So the very beings we've harmed and those who have harmed us. So bring to mind those you've harmed and just develop a wish for them to be free from suffering. and then develop. And then for those people who have harmed you, the suffering they've caused you will ripen as suffering for them sometime in the future. So have compassion for them because of that. And so make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think I must purify for their sake. And so now we come to the power of the remedy. This is the actual practice, the medicine. So we start with the body. Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of white nectar. It's probably not beams so much as just flowing nectar, like coming out of a hose quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around into your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and it pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So just imagine the moment anybody walks past you or they see you, they lay eyes on you, somehow it benefits their mind. So next is the purification of the speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything that benefits others now with your speech. Just imagine the moment anyone hears your voice, hears your words, it benefits their mind. And just imagine that you have the wisdom to know exactly what to say at the right moment in order to benefit a person's mind. So next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, which arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same as when you walk into a pitch black room, you flick on the switch, the light in the room instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment, depression, anxieties, and neediness, jangliness, jealousy, bitterness, grudges, all of this instantly dispelled by this light and the mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Te. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, and this is the cause of why we are suffering, why we cause others suffering by using our body, our speech. Imagine this is all gone. I think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, that it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. And just imagine even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. They're all gone. And now the power of resolve, and the fourth and very crucial step in our purification practice is we just have to make a decision that we don't want to harm, that we want to refrain from harming with our body, our speech, and our mind of ourselves and others. So rejoice in the efforts you've been making, the progress you're making, and then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. And then imagine Vajrasattva delighted with us and wanting to merge with our minds, melts into white light and absorbs into you, into all of us through your crowns. And think my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And then just a little bit about emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a moment. Think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And maybe the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And if you do have, see again, there's only like 6 people on the screen. So weird. So if you do have in your practice, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, or this idea of Guru devotion is in your practice, to make a strong wish for your teachers to live long, for His Holiness to live long, and for Lama Zopa Rinpoche to swiftly return. And there's many